freaking and all. He's and holding he is holding his decapitated head, and it kind of just sort of ends that way. Tis October once again, finally, and we're going to be talking about all kinds of Halloween spooky horror stuff. And today, that's exactly one of those things. We're going to be talking about a movie. We're going to do a movie review on the podcast. We're going to be talking about Sleepaway Camp, the classic cult horror movie, and we're going to see how messed up it really is. So let's go. Cheers to you guys to season 3. Having myself a nice, cool whiskey sour done my way. Taking a quick little sip. Like I said, welcome back, guys, to season 3 of the Booze&Chill Buzzcast podcast. And like I mentioned in the beginning, we're going to be doing all kinds of Halloween-y, horror-y kind of stuff. We're going to be talking about all that kind of stuff because it's October, the best fucking month ever, guys. And it has the best holiday, Halloween, my all-time favorite holiday of all damn time. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the review, the movie review that is Sleepaway Camp, guys. We're going to be talking about this movie and how messed up it is, and just like how much of a cult horror that it has following it. It's one of those movies that came out. Let me get that information because I have a pretty bad memory, and just to make sure that I'm on track here. I know for a fact this was around the. Okay, here we go. This movie came out in 1983. It's one of those movies that when it first came out, it didn't quite catch, it didn't quite catch the audience's attraction at first. For example, a very good example. It's actually my 6-year-old's favorite horror movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. When that movie came out, it's again it did not catch a lot of attention. Whether it have been because it was like giant alien clowns, or because of the fact that at the time, it was a bunch of dudes in clown suits, you know what I mean? But it's like, there was no CGI back then, so that's kind of like, that's how movies were made. That it just kind of like just depended on your imagination and whatnot, or how good the acting was, or the writing was, or how clever the cinematography was, right? So when Killer Clowns came out, it did not have a lot of followings. Now the kids nowadays are just like finding out about it. I actually found out about it a little bit earlier because last year's Halloween, you started. Killer Clowns started popping up. This year, 2023, you're seeing it everywhere now. You can't see a Killer Clown anything when you go to the Halloween store. And now, Sleepaway Camp, I feel like it's one of those movies that now, like, it's like starting to pick up, just like Killer Clowns did. It picked up as it went. It aged well, and this movie, it starts off like a very subtle but very creepy. Like you can tell that there's something off with this family. It starts off with the main characters. It was Angela, and then I believe the brother's name was Ricky, if I'm not mistaken. So it starts off with the family, showing off the family, and the mother. The mother, dude, oh man, I don't have the actress's name, but she did a very good job. She really outdid the whole creepy. How to put it into words? She was very controlling, and like those type of people who just lose their shit when they just can't, don't have control. And I believe that the mother in the movie was like some sort of doctor, if I'm not mistaken. And but I'm actually going. I'm getting ahead of myself. In the very very beginning, you see the what I recall being the father of Angela. There was another kid there. I don't remember which one it was. It might have been the Ricky character. She sees her dad die before her very eyes and I think it was like a fishing or boat accident, and that causes her to just completely shut down and just not talk at all. And you see that in the very beginning because the mother, the crazy nut of a mother, talking to her no response, not even to the cousin. But the cousin is like one of those like ride or die type of cousins. Like you fuck with my cousin, I'm gonna fuck you up kind of cousin. They like it's those tight kind of family members, and you see that relationship between the but Ricky. If I hope I'm right about that one. Ricky and Angela, Angela being the main character, which is the one in the cover that I just showed earlier. I'm having another sip here, and it starts off with them getting ready to head off to camp, which that I can't remember the name of the camp. It's not. I think it's Sleepaway. I'm pretty sure it's Sleepaway because I know in because it's a franchise. There's part 2 and 3, and they changed the camp name 2 and 3. But I'm gonna go ahead and safely say that in part 1 they're calling it Sleepaway. So they're getting ready to head off into the bus. They drive there. They're meeting everybody. The cousin's not new to the whole camp thing. He's got friends there. They're like, "Oh man, have you seen so and so?" It's like she's got the. She's like, "Whoa, really? Yeah, bro." Like it's that situation. Like he's got friends there. Angela again being the girl that went through something very traumatic, so she's completely mute. Uh, because she's traumatized, not because she just can't talk. But that starts off like that, and then camps. They do camp stuff. They wake up early. They do activities. They go eat lunch at the cabins and whatever. But you also start noticing that the people who run the camp, not all of them, some of them are very sketchy, very messed up people. Like there's like the head chef of the food there at the camp is like the like obvious pedophile. Like he's like checking out the little girls coming out of the bus, and like his mouth's watering, and it's like that kind of messed up. And then there's I believe it was the owner who actually like sleeps with one of the campers or camp. What were they? The people who work for him. The people who take care of the kids. Like those people that get assigned to certain groups with the kids. One of those people. And I think that's probably the most messed up camp employees. No, actually, yeah. There's also no, actually, I think those were the most messed up. And then you got the teenagers, the beachy camp headmasters. I honestly I don't remember the term. Leave it in the comments in the YouTube video, YouTube podcast, YouTube. Damn, it's been a while. The video podcast on YouTube in the comment section. I'm Spotify. I don't remember. Again, it's been a while. I can't remember if you guys can actually answer anything on Spotify, but leave it in the comments in the video podcast on YouTube if y'all know the answer to that question. And so again, we see them all just gathering up, meeting up, and again, getting arranged, saying hello, what's going on, hey, like typical uh camp stuff. I've never been to camp, but when you go and you meet up your friends after not seeing them for a long time, just catching up. That's what I meant to say. And the first encounter, the first thing that kind of already like picks up the movie. Besides the fact that Angela being very, very quiet, not talking to absolutely anybody. Also, I failed to mention that in this camp, the boys and the girls get separated. They get separated, and the head honcho head camp honcho, those people who get assigned with the kids, for the girls, um, is very buddies with one particular girl who just happens to be the most popular girl there. The she's like the how would I put it? She's the bitchy character in the movie, and she's buddies with this person, and she's not cool with Angela because she gets special treatment because she's quiet, she keeps to herself, she's very very awkward, so she like they give her the special treatment, right? And this character is not cool with it. So what is a bitchy character or a bitchy um teenager like that do? She starts picking at her and stuff like that, calls her names and whatnot. And so it goes on. I'm gonna skip along to the first thing that happens, the first kill per se. They never really actually said that this character died. But anyways, so the first interaction is when Angela gets taken. Oh, because they're like in they're eating. Sorry, they're eating breakfast, lunch. I don't remember, and they notice that this Angela character has not been eating, like pretty much nothing. So one of the nice head campers or whatever notices that and decides to, you know what, let's take it to the back. Let's let her choose what she likes to eat because she's got to eat something, right? And so that's exactly what the guy does. Take it to the back. They run into the the head um the head chef, the sick pervert guy, and he's just, oh yeah, whatever she wants, man, blah blah blah, this and that. And then guy gets called for some emergency, leaves her alone with the head chef, so you already know what's about to happen, right? And the head chef takes her to a back room and showing her some goods, and then like, shit starts getting a little too, uncomfortable. Like, so, I'm pretty sure you all know where that gets. So the guy starts unzipping his pants in front of her, and being that she does not talk, all she can do is kind of like widen her eyes and just stare and just complete um horror. Luckily, it got completely blocked by, I'm not mistaken, the same guy who got called off, and didn't notice what was going on. Right? I don't even see how you wouldn't catch that shit. But oh no, wait, no, I lie. I lie. What happened was that her cousin uh got involved. He noticed it. There we go. Like I said, I have a pretty bad memory. He came in, he notices, and was like, what the fuck is going on? Dude zips up his pants, grabs her cousin, grabs Angela, pulls her out, runs out. And that's when the dude that got called off comes in and says, hey, what's going on here? Blah, blah, blah. Head chef looks and he's like, nothing happened. Absolutely nothing happened. I'm gonna have a sip here. And they called that a day. They just treated it like nothing happened at all. And then again, I'm gonna skip along because this is where it starts getting good. It goes to the head chef and one of the other chef, the people who help around in the kitchen are there doing their thing, cleaning up, prepping for the next day and whatnot, or for dinner or some shit. And then the head chef gets left alone doing his thing. He was like prepping some sort of soup or something, and it's like and it's a very over exaggerated pot. I mean, I'm talking like from like, let's see if I can do this from here. Like again, if you're watching in the video podcast, you're seeing it was at least 3-4 feet tall. This pot, I've never seen a pot that huge in my life. Um, it was crazy. It was crazy. So this guy actually had to step up on a step ladder to be able to look in and freaking stir the fucking thing. And now that I think about it, how long was that? Um, was that spoon or whatever, whatever you call it? So, anyways, so he's leaning over the step ladder, check up on it and stir it, whatever, and add whatever he's adding. And then it cuts to a like I forgot those shots. Those shots where the camera is like walking up behind the victim. You get that shot, and you see this person push. Or no, they knock down the step ladder or just push him off, and then he falls off the step ladder and leaning onto a shelf that's in front of the damn stove. So he's like face this close to the goddamn boiling pot of whatever it is that he's making, and he turns back around, still holding on, for dear life, and sees who it is. They never show who it was. This is like a Friday the 13th, the first Friday the 13th. If y'all know what I'm talking about, the first Friday the 13th, we don't get Jason. My spoiler, if you have not seen it, and if you haven't, that's kind of sad. It's an old movie. But in the first Friday the 13th, that's what you see, the killer. But you never see the killer up until the end. That's exactly what they did for Sleepaway Camp. So you don't see who it is, but the guy is like, "Oh, sir, you little shit," and blah blah blah, that, cussing out the killer, and then finishes off the head chef by pushing him to the point where he slips and just completely falls in, tips over the boiling ass pot of whatever it is on him, and you see the first kill, the first victim. Sorry about that. The first victim, which is that's actually the head chef. That's the character who plays him, and gets completely burnt. But they never actually show or mention that he was actually dead. They take him away. The medics take him away, but they never actually said that he died. Pretty sure he did, right? But that's the whole point of this movie. People get killed off. But anyways, that is the first kill, and then continues on to Angela, just not trying, because honestly, the Angela character was not trying. She's been through some shit, so she does not talk. So there's this fast forwarding here. This is like this dance thing where all the campers, girls and boys, get involved, and we see Angela getting picked on once again by the older kids, the older boys, and they're planning out this what was it called? Skinny dipping at the lake. Sounds like fun, right? But they're trying to get girls involved because, and one of them gets the idea to ask Angela out, and it comes to this like, "Oh, yeah, fuck that, she's fucking weird," blah, 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 and that. The other guy's like, "Oh, what? Why are you scared? You scared to ask her out?" And it comes this whole I triple dog dare you situation. So they go up, they ask her, and doesn't say a word, and they start mocking her and making fun of her, and then comes in the cousin with the friend that they met up in the very beginning of the movie. Cousin gets into a fight with the older boys. The fight gets broken up. The friend stays behind, sits next to Angela, and starts telling her stories of how him and her cousin will get in trouble all the time. And that goes on like that for a moment, and then it cuts out to, I don't remember what it was, but it cuts it cuts to something else, and it comes back to the the cousin's friend still telling her stories, and then uh it's like late, so all the campers get called in, or they start with the boys. They call the boys out, and as he's walking away, Angela spoke her first words and says to the guy, "Good night." And in complete shock, and like, and with this like this sense of like, oh man, she likes me face, like, good night, with this like very enthusiastic tone. But I mean, I guess if you could make anybody who doesn't talk at all to say something, I I feel, yeah, that's probably like a goal, not a goal, but like, and it's like an achievement. You know what I mean? So that's basically what he felt. But you know for a fact that he saw her in that kind of way. So there was that first buildup of a relationship for the main character who doesn't talk, who's very awkward, just keeps to herself. And I'm gonna have one more sip here. I still got a few sips to go, right? But anyways, so Angela gets close to the cousin's friend, and it's adorable. That connection that they had was adorable. I will say that it was adorable. And then in comes the what was it, the skinny dipping plan. So long story short, it was only like, how many were they, like 10 dudes or something, all butt ass naked, running towards the lake. A group of girls stayed behind because they all, rejected the invitation. And so they all go. Two dudes stay behind, getting stoned. They stay behind, and they have their plans. So they take out, I think it was one of the girls from the group, into what are they called? A canoe? Those slim boats for like 2 or 3 people, whatever. They managed to get one of the girls in there. Again, they had their own intentions. So they're out there, and the guy on purpose flips the boat over. Both go in the water. Girl's pissed, swims off. Excuse me. And then that guy stays behind, I guess, trying to flip the boat, right side up again. And then you get that shot again. Oh wait, no, I lie again. Again, this is a horrible memory. You see the guy underneath the boat. You know what I'm talking about? Like when the boat's upside down and you swim under it, and then you're just completely covered by the boat. You see that shot of the guy, then you see a head pop up in front of him. All you see is hair, long hair at that. But again, you got to keep in mind there are multiple girls and women that also work for the camp. So you see a head with long hair pop up right in front of him, and the guy goes, "Oh, it's you." And I forget what else he says. And then cuts it. Fast forward, I think it was the next day. It was the next day. That's right. Um, it was a party. There's dudes, there's boys, and it's just a complete mess. Teenagers parties, right? There's just one pissed off employee there that's like is assigned to clean up all the mess. So he's all pissed off, tossing, he's just not in the mood, right? It's early in the fucking morning. His first mission was to pick up after teenagers, right? Pain in the ass. So he does that. So he's like walking, and there's like a trail of a mess towards like the lake, I can assume, because that's where it happened. And so he goes, he's picking shit up, but he's also throwing at the same time because again he's upset. And then he finds the victim from the boat completely slashed, and just how drowning victims look like. well, yeah, that's how you look like. That's how you look like. And so we get that victim, we get that guy, and then after that, we see who was the next one. I got to really start putting my notes here. Give me a sec. Kill counts. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead put a kill count here. So I'm pretty sure I'm like on track. I'm pretty sure I am on track for this. But let me see. Unfortunately, that does not give me okay. I'm seeing the the dead. What's it called? The dead victim from the boat that I was talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can put this up for you so we can have a visual. And for those of you who are not watching the video podcast, I would be pretty cool if you also joined in on the video podcast because I mean if you're not one of those if you're not into the video podcast, I don't. But I mean, there we go. The drowned victim, the guy that was picking on her in the dance. That's one of them. And let me see here. And then the thing is that if you look up kill counts, they typically, especially if it's like more than one, like in this case, it's a franchise. There was a part two and a part three, and they got all the kill counts completely mixed up. But you can also tell if it's the first movie or the second or the third because the character's different. Not to mention that the she's older. And if you've seen them, then you just know. But let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and open up something here. I do apologize for this. I should have done. And I saw this first time actually about a week ago. I want to say. Yeah, I want to say it was like a week ago. This is three. No, but anyways, uh, and while I go ahead and do my very quick research here. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to see the next kill because if I go completely into, I can't go completely into detail on account of the fact that again I got a pretty bad memory. But anyways, oh, I failed to mention throughout the movie you do get what's it called? You get flashbacks. You get certain flashbacks to certain traumas that the Angela character has, and one of them was I believe it was like the first time she uh saw some like an uncle or they showed a dude in bed with another dude, and it was her as a little girl, and then there was this little boy there with her as well, and they're just pointing and laughing. I want to say that was the first clip, the first flashback. So you see that, and then it cuts to her as a little girl and the little boy on a bed. Not what you think. They're like in PJs and stuff, but the little boy is like they're like facing each other. They're sitting in front of each other on the bed, and the boy just kind of with a finger just like about to like touch her chest. Doesn't show anything else. It just kind of ends it there, but you kind of get the point. Um, so there's that as well that I failed to mention. The flashbacks, and so you can actually understand how messed up this Angela character is and why she does not speak and keeps to herself. And I'm gonna have more sip of my whiskey sour here. So it dives deeper into again the trauma that the Angela character has. Like I said, it's a very psychological slasher um, camp movie. I want to say I say camp because like Friday the 13th, like that falls right under camp horror camp movie, which is the thing. And so yeah, I failed to mention that. And then let me see here. Let me see who else was after the drowning, uh, the drowning douche. We all call him the drowning douche. But let me see. Who was the next one? Okay, I already went through. I went through the head chef. I went through the kid. Who was the next one here? I'm seeing. Already went through the drowning thing, going to the party. And actually, that was before, the whole kill. I get if I'm not mistaken, right afterwards, they start noticing, "Oh, wait a minute, give me a second." I think there was the next victim was actually the female head camp the female adult that gets assigned to the girls, section, right? If I'm not mistaken, she was the next one because she took uh she got out of control. And when I say that is she was trying to get excuse me, Angela to participate in I believe it was like they were swimming. They were swimming and her being quiet into herself and as she was just kind of like on the side on the benches. And then the bitching character again mocking her, telling her, what's wrong with you? Are, are you embarrassed?" And her, I don't remember exactly what she said, but basically just being a total bitch about everything, right? And the the adult man, I already gotta get my shit straight. But anyways, uh, she asked her, "What's wrong with you? Why don't you participate?" Blah blah blah. This and that. She starts losing it to the point where she starts yelling, grabs her physically, and shakes her. And I think at that point, oh, I remember now. She actually picks her up, puts tosses her up against her shoulder, and starts walking towards the lake. Angela's screaming and yelling, and the bitch character right behind them, just taunting her, making fun of her throughout the entire walk towards the lake. They get to the lake, and at this point, also, um, the head guy who owns the camp was already having his uh, what's called he was having his doubts, and he was having these ideas that the person that was responsible for the two murders or accidents, as they were calling them, he was pointing them towards Angela's cousin because he's so foul mouthed and out of control. When in reality, he was just like being a good cousin, and he was kind of sort of pointing that towards him. And at this point, the cousin shows up, notices that her cousin is being carried and bullied by these chicks, and runs towards him. The head guy stops him. Again, he's already getting these ideas. Stops him like, "Oh, what? So you can?" Well, he goes, "What are you doing?" And so on and so forth. I can't remember what he was asking him. And the kid's like, just like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, let me go." And then they see that Angela's getting picked on, and they toss her into the lake. Um, Eventually, the guy lets the kid go, runs, saves Angela. Can't do much about it because he can beat up dudes, but you know he's one of those respectful kids, I guess, who did not beat up two girls. and and you can probably already tell who the next victim is. I'm gonna fast forward again for this part. Um, you can already guess that the next victim is the chick who carried Angela. And I think I might have. Here we go. This picture here. This is the bitchy girl that I'm talking about. This was actually the same scene where she gets carried and tossed into the lake, not by her, but the other chick. And so, if I'm trying to remember how she offed this one, because that one I don't remember. Again, it was like a week ago when I saw this movie. And again, I have a pretty bad memory, but I for this movie in particular, I do remember like a good amount of it. Let me see. I'm just looking over a few things here and there, and I cannot for the life of me remember how she off that girl. But there is another one. There's another. I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna skip that one. If I do remember, I will go right back to it. But there is another kill, and it's one of the older kids that were bullying her, the guys who are trying to put the skinny dipping thing together. They get out of hand again. They start throwing stuff from the top of a roof to Angela. Cousin comes in again. Again, the head camp guy notice notices everything. Notices how the cousin overreacts, but this time sees what's going on. But still, this guy, uh, being that he was so close to the the girl that tossed Angela into the lake. I should probably get character names while I'm at it. For Sorry about this, guys. Again, uh, it's a good movie. It's a good way. Good way. What? Good movie. Let me get some character names here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me see. We got okay, I got some names now. Let's see if it'll go a little bit smoother. But before that, I'm gonna have another sip of some whiskey sour. Okay. So these guys, they piss off not just the cousin, not just Angela, but they also piss off the head camper. In fact, he punishes the head camper being um his name is Mel Caustic. And so, oh, and I believe the bitchy girl's duty, the camp whatever is Meg. But anyways, going right back. And so, um at this point you kind of start connecting the dots. You know what I mean? I don't want to say just yet close to the last kill, which is the most messed up kill because it reveals some shit, guys. It reveals some shit. So, um, fast forward, we see the one of the guys, one particular guy, head goes into the boys' restroom, goes into the stall, pulls down his pants, takes a shit. Again, we see that camera view again, but pointing upwards towards the window behind the guy sitting on the toilet. Sees a stick come in with a beehive, and you can guess what happened there. But before that, um, the killer puts a stick between the door handles outside, so he's not able to open it, and it goes around, and then comes the stick. Starts shaking it. Guy can't get out. Doesn't wipe for obvious reasons. Can't get out and gets stung to death and dies, possibly because of allergies or something. Because I don't know exactly how many times do you have to get stung by bees to actually like die. I've never thought about that till now. That movie made me think about it. No, that's a lie. It's, also that movie with Macaulay Culkin. Can't remember the name. Where he's like an orphan, and he turns out to be like this psycho. So that movie is also good, classic as well. Those movies made me think like, wow, how many times do you have to get stung by bees to like get killed? But anyways, so that's another one. Have not remembered how that girl dies, but she's dead. She's dead, and because she's dead, the head camp guy again starts getting crazier on account of she was into her. They were supposed to meet up, and she gets killed. Um, remember now, she was in the shower. I believe it was the guy first, and then the girl, the Meg character. Because the Meg character was into the head camp guy, Mel Caustic. There we go. It's coming to me now. So they were supposed to meet up because she was like, she got the night off or whatever. She's like showering. And then we see, I also noticed there's some homages to old horror movies. Um, they for this particular scene, for the death of Meg, uh, there's an homage to the movie Psycho, the Alfred Hitchcock Psycho, because she's in the shower and all you see is a knife going through the shower curtains and then just go like a clean like boom slice down, and that is how they completely get rid of the Meg character. After then, at this point, being that there was one, there's the chef, the kid, and then the other kid, and then this girl. There's at least four deaths at this point. That's when the camper, the camp employees or whatever actually start. Okay, you know what? Maybe we need actually to do something about this shit. So they call cops and they start doing their thing. Get all the kids out as fast as you can, but try not to make big deal and whatnot. And I believe there was this was like a fast forwarding to another dance when this is all happening. There's a dance happening, and these killings are also going at the same time. And then we see it cuts to the dance, and Angela's there, and I failed to mention that that connection that Angela and let me get the name. Uh, Ricky character, or was it Paul? I'm gonna say Ricky. It was Ricky, and then Paul was the cousin. Paul was the cousin. Ricky was a friend. I failed to mention that Ricky was actually being a little man whore with Judy, the bitch character. Kind of she developed like this weird jealousy with Angela because she was getting special treatment, whatever. So she notices that Ricky is into her. They're holding hands on typical couple things, and then Judy fucks that up by kissing Ricky, gets caught by Angela, hence her. Actually, now that I remember, she actually survived, which is kind of sad. But anyways, it's one of those movies where you kind of are vouching for the killer, even though you don't know who the killer is. But at this point, you kind of already know who the killer is, but you kind of want to wait and see what happens. It's one of those situations, and so the dance. Fast forward to the dance after the whole him cheating on Angela, so to speak. Goes up to her and tells her, "It's like, man, I'm sorry. Can you forgive me? Give me another chance." Blah blah. And so Angela's like, you know what? Meet me by here at this time. And while the whole wait happens, you see them, discovering the dead bodies, this and that, and there's just all panic fucking everywhere. And so it cuts to, I'm having another sip of this. Building suspense. Look at me, building suspense. Cuts to Angela meeting up with Ricky by the lake. And Ricky completely, he's just surprised that he was given the chance, a second chance. I mean, and they're like, okay, so now what? And Angela goes with such a serious look in her eyes, not looking at him. In fact, they bump into each other. She's facing one direction, and the Ricky character behind her. She does not turn around, which should have been like a huge red flag for him. But she goes with like these eyes of hers, take your clothes off. Without question, the Ricky just okay, slips the pants down or whatever, and you see her like unbutton a shirt here and there, right? And then cuts to the the camp folks, looking for kids, and they're looking for Ricky and Angela because like, oh, these so and so kids are here, but where are them? So they're off looking for them, and then they're somewhere out in the campsite areas, and then the one of the guys notices two kids at a distance, walks towards them, right? And they walk towards him, and this is the part of the movie again, how I mentioned that throughout the movie that they show flashbacks of stuff that would happen to Angela. Before I get into the this the last part of the movie, I have to bring this flashback up because this is the one that connects the dot, kind of, sort of, in a way. So there's a flashback of her and her mother. um I'm sorry, it's her as a little girl, but she what looks like just bald and completely bandaged all on top of her head. And the mother talking to her, being the creepy psycho that she is, saying that, oh, since your dad's been gone, something along the lines of her wanting um a little a little girl. Yes, a little girl. Cause or the boy. Shit. I mixed that up. But the point is she wants the opposite of what she has. And then leaves it at that. And now I'm gonna go back to the last part of the movie. And this is the last scene of the movie where the campers walk up to and they start noticing as they get closer that they see Angela and what's his face? Um Eric? Ricky. Sorry. What? Ricky. And they see Ricky laying on Angela's lap. And again, they're only staring at Angela from behind because as they were walking up to him, she was facing towards like the lake and stuff. And so they're standing there. They stop though, and they're just calling out the names like Angela and Ricky, like Angela. This part of the movie is like the most iconic part of the movie. She stands up, and it's like this scene, like, I'm gonna burn this in your head too. And basically, it's Angela's face, but with a freaking dick and all, and Ricky, and she's holding, or he is holding, Ricky's decapitated head. And how I was saying that this is the kind of movie that you kind of sort of connect the dots. You see that at some point it is Angela doing all this, but with a much more fucked up twist to it. And that is why this movie is like so damn good that it needs to be watched. It has to be known. Like, this is the kind of movie that's just like, that's gonna keep you, it's gonna keep you locked in, kind of like what Friday the 13th did, except again, this has a much better twist. Friday the 13th worked because they brought in Jason with the hockey mask and everything. But this was just like, again, psychologically fucked up. And that is why this movie is up there in a must watch for Halloween, for October, really. This movie, guys, you have to go check out. It's just so messed up in a very, very good and entertaining way. But that pretty much sums up this this movie review. I skipped a few parts here and there, but the all in all, the movie is just, it's good, it's entertaining. It's, if you're into like 80s horror movies, this movie is the one. If you are into Friday the 13th, uh Freddy Krueger, uh, Halloween, Michael Myers, all those good cult classic horror movies, the ones that you love, the ones that you would wait to see, to get played in a marathon all of October, this has got to be one of the movies that you guys need to check out, because again, it's good, it's a thrill. It's pretty well written. This movie was kind of sort of ahead of its time. It really, really was. But again, that pretty much ends this movie review, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. You've been, if you've heard everything, if you're still here and you're still watching, depending on what you're watching, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. All I gotta send you out with is, as usual, follow Booze and Chill and all social medias, the YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter or X, depending on what you want to call it. And if you want to keep uh, continuing, yeah, if you want to continue um, helping out the channel, you can go to patreon.com/booze and chill and get behind the scenes videos, photos, members only content that you will not see anywhere else. And trust me when I'm telling you, I have been putting in the work. You will see the behind the scenes stuff for pretty much, not all of it. Like for the podcast, for instance, I don't do any of that stuff here because it's kind of boring. I just come, sit down, talk, and that's it. I'm talking about like the pre-recorded stuff, the ones that I actually put the work in. I'm not saying that I don't put work into this as well, but I'm talking about like I'm up and down doing stuff, doing the work. You know what I mean? On patreon.com only, support 4 different tiers depending on which one you want, and also depends what you pick, is depends what you get as well. So there's that. And again, Buzzcast season 3, first episode, first audio today. If you want to keep up with the season 3, I suggest that subscribe to Booze and Chill YouTube channel, where you will see the video podcast updates. And if you're not into that and only do the audio thing, you can go ahead and go to Spotify and search up the Booze and Chill Buzzcast, or should come up as just Buzzcast. So search that up if you are into just audio stuff, and so you can keep continuing listening to all the Halloween horror stuff that we're going to be talking. Well, I'm going to be talking about for the rest of the month, quite possibly for the next as well. I haven't exactly planned out how long this season is going to go, but I'm going to keep doing the scary stuff because scary stuff is cool. But yeah, that's it for that, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, if you keep watching, I'm gonna keep drinking. I will see you guys in the next podcast or in the next video. So with that, I will say peace out.